coming to me at this moment is a saying of the Quran Sharif that was very important in my grandfather's life. When he was a child or a very young man, he was raised praying 5 times a day, every day, without fail. Unquestionably, everyone in his family did. But he came to wonder about it, and he thought, God is the most, this is the profound mystery at the center of being, and here I am praying to God, saying God's name and so forth, but I'm just doing it because I was taught to do it, and what's the real meaning of it? Is it just a performance? Do I do it only because other people are doing it, and then it's a mechanical ritual to gain social acceptance? And he felt if it's something sacred, I can't just do it because everyone's doing it. And so he was in a quandary, and he was on the verge of giving up the practice of prayer. And so he went to his grandfather and shared his dilemma. And his grandfather didn't show any sign of annoyance or frustration with him. But he quoted a verse from the Quran. And that verse says, "We will show them our signs on the horizons and in themselves, and they will know that this is the truth." Mm. It's such an important verse, isn't it? Because it refers to the signs, the ayat of God, the disclosures of the divine nature on the horizons. That is to say, in the landscape and in themselves, in their own nafs, in their own personal being. The signs will come in 2 directions. There will be signs that reach us from, so to speak, outside, and there will be signs that reach us from inside. And so the divine revelation is working in 2 directions. You might say that the divine manifestation, the light of the divine manifestation has bifurcated into what we call spirit and matter. And these are 2 dimensions of the same reality, the same divine self-disclosure. But then it meets itself in us. Matter and consciousness meet in our witnessing here in the landscape, in this time, in this moment. We're shown signs from the horizons, from the elements, from the forests and the skies and the oceans. We're shown signs from our fellow earthlings who wear feathers and wear fur and wear scales. And at the same time, the signs are shown through our own consciousness, through the inner worlds that meet this outer world through our gaze. And so what is a landscape? It's a meeting of the outer and the inner. And when the inner sees the sacredness in what is without, then what is without delivers its message into the within. And the whole act of witnessing is lifted up into the divine knowing. So on one level, perceiving a landscape is attentiveness to what is actually here, what is materially here, meticulously sensing, observing, being true to what is here, not lost in some fantasy of what one wished for or feared or whatever it might be, but what's right here, attentive to it, present to it, but also at the same time bringing the whole of one's own state, bringing all of one's experiences, memories, the lineage of one's ancestors, all that one's soul carries through all of the planes, the whole thrust and movement of one's spirit, bringing that fullness to exactly what is here and being totally awake in that encounter. That is to meet the landscape, and then the landscape reveals the beloved. And that's what these sayings, these nature meditations of Murshid, evoke. Last very brief moments that we have, we could just take up two sayings from the nature meditations. And the first is this: inhaling in this landscape in my heart, inhaling this landscape in my heart, exhaling is a reflection of thy beauty. And remember, it's not only Jamal, it's not only the beauty that's delicate and soft and lovely, but it's also husn, that beauty that includes Jamal and Jalal. The fierce and wild and terrible, as well as the diaphanous and sweet, all of that beauty. Inhaling this landscape in my heart. The landscape is in the heart. It's not external. The heart encompasses, saturates the landscape. This landscape in my heart, inhaling, is a reflection of thy beauty. You, beloved, these are the lineaments of your own exquisite face, right here, right now, unveiled. And then this saying, which goes even further. Inhaling, I feel thy presence in this landscape. Inhaling, I feel thy presence in this landscape. Exhaling, which draws my heart so close to thee. I feel thy presence in this landscape, which draws my heart so close to thee. This landscape isn't only the image of the beloved, the picture of the beloved is right here, totally present. Drawing us into intimacy. We can let the words fade out, but resolve to keep up this attention to the beloved in the landscape. And when we open our eyes, if there's a window, maybe look out through the glass, look out on the land around you. If there is no window, just sense what is outside the walls of your house, the fields and the streets, the trees, crows and other birds, everything that's there. It's not a hodgepodge, it's not a collection of objects, as Father Thomas Berry said, not a collection of objects, but a communion of subjects. As Sheikh Emmanuel said, there's a thread Every being is a bead, and there's a thread that runs through them. So follow the thread, which turns out to be our own breath as it mingles with the Nafas-e-Rahman, the breath of all breaths, which is the very breathing of the great person embodied in landscapes, continents, worlds, galaxies, all lit up by the light of the Beloved who is forever.